Welcome to Roger's Orchids. In today's video I'm repotting the last of the project orchids, which when we did that video a while back we discovered that this plant has some rot around the base, so this is classed as an emergency repot. There won't be a lot left of the plant, but hopefully there's enough to recover. So let's get going. Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is a repotting video and it's the project orchid Cymbidium that when we did the very last final update for the 25-26 project orchids, this was the final video, and a good look at the plant warranted a repot on an emergency, on the grounds that the old part of the plant is rotting and going soft, so there's potentially some sort of bacterial infection at the base of the plant. So to save the rest of the plant it needs coming off. So that's what we're up to today. We will see what's left. We do have a very strong nice new growth and a bulb behind it that at the moment looks okay, but until I get it out of the pot we won't know. So I'll move the camera around and we'll crack on. I think that's okay. Something like that. Right, so this is Cymbidium copper and it's heading to becoming in a bad way. Whether it's got there yet and I can't say that, I don't know. Now, Cymbidiums are notorious for not wanting to come out of the pot. They push up such big root systems that they really don't want to come out. But we'll see what we can do. It's a bit of brute force. No, right, we'll run the knife round. Hopefully we don't take any root tips off. Just separate them with any luck. I don't think there's any hanging out the bottom of the pot that's holding it in there. I think it's just crammed tight. Let's see if that's loosened it. It's moving. We're getting there. We've got two roots hanging out the bottom. I'm sure that's not holding the whole plant in, but if they weren't there then they can't be, so we'll take them off. Right, now let's have another go. There we go. So that's just that one little root that's holding it in. Now you can see what I mean about the roots. Solid mass. Right, to keep the pot, it's not only a Cymbidium shaped pot, it's even got Cymbidium round the collar. It's a nice pot. Right, now first job is to take off the old part of the plant, and that's what the sharp knife's for. So that is coming off. Now I've been watching Jim Durrant, and he's quite vicious with the old repotting as far as taking old parts of the plant off are concerned. So we will do the same. All the roots that are underneath this part of the plant are old. They're not wanted. It's the roots at the front of the plant we want. God, these are tough. This is with a sharp knife as well. Swallowing it now. There we go. So that's got the old part of the plant off. Now what we've got to do is see how far this rot has gone. Now the first thing I note is that there's virtually no roots coming out of this new growth yet. There's stumps where they're going to be, but they're not there yet. These roots are good roots. There's virtually no old, well there's a couple, but hardly any worth noting that have actually got to be trimmed off. And when they all look the same, it's difficult to work out if it's an old. You've got to feel them. If they feel soft and papering, then they're of no use. It's like this one looks old and tired. It's actually got a growing tip on it. So you've just got to go careful. The side shoot there is all papery, so that can come off. I'm trimming the roots on the old part of the plant here. Come on, concentrate. Not going to worry about hacking the roots to pieces to any great extent, but we will take the old ones off that I can see anyway, that are obvious. Right, now what we've got to do is make the decision on this other bulb here. Is it infected in any shape or form? Because if it is, it's coming off. It's firm. No, I'm not happy with that. It's coming off. And one thing I have noticed is there is a shoot down here. You may be able to see that on the whoops, leaves in the way on the end of my finger. Now that is right next to the old spike attached to the bulb we're keeping. So this old bulb with the yellowing leaves is coming off. That's not going to leave a lot of roots, but I don't care. To save the plant, whatever's infected it needs to come out, needs to be gone. So we'll cut it off. God, rhizomes are tough. As I said, this is with a sharp knife as well. I have seen people divide Cymbidiums with an axe or a wood saw, hand saw, quite successfully. Right, what does that leave us with? Now the base now looks actually okay. It actually looks okay. There is some yellowing at the base of this bulb, but if I take that off and leave the new growth, it won't make it. It's got to have some support. So I think that'll have to do. We can't really take any more off. Just getting the sheaths off and everything to tidy it up basically. Now there's more than enough roots left on there to support that size plant. That size plant is not a flowering size plant now, so we will lose blooms in the coming season. Now this would be due to come into bloom this year. It's not one that blooms late winter, early spring. It's one that blooms early, so it's in bloom this year. But if it does, I mean, this may well be an attempt at putting a spike up. If it produces a spike, I will cut it off. We need to get the strength back in the plant. So it's a lot of mess to clear up. We've got some very viable roots, which I will pop back in that pot for now, so that it doesn't fall over. See, it's not listening to me. I said I'll put it in there so it doesn't fall over, and it promptly falls over. Well, one way or another, you're going to stand up. There you go. While I clear up the mess, I did actually avoid the swear word then. It got to about there, it didn't quite come out. That's what I said. I mean, I do repot sometimes when I'm not filming, and I can say what I like then, but I don't have that I don't have language on my channel basically. And that includes in the comments. I do occasionally have to have words with people, but don't get much of that on this channel. Right, so I shall have a clear up and I shall decide what pot we're going to put that in. I want to put it in a smaller pot, but the trouble is it's going to end up top heavy, so we might have to do some elaborate staking to actually get it to stand up and not keep toppling over. We'll see how we get on, but I'll have the clear up first, so I'll be back. Okay, I found a pot that I'm going to cram it into, because that amount of roots will only just go in there. And I mean, Jim Durrant's been growing Cymbidiums and hybridizing them in a commercial world for probably 45, maybe even 50 years. He does know what he's doing, and he said they recover from a repot far faster the tighter you can get them into a pot. So although they might look ridiculous in the tiny little pot given the size of the plant, he said they recover faster and produce a much better new root system. Take the word of an expert, not me. I still haven't been growing Cymbidiums that long, although this is one of my older ones. It's also my worst. Yeah, I've lost one. I did lose one completely. That rotted. Even the new growth rotted. It just went down very, very fast. And this one I've had the longest, and I'm hoping we've saved it. Hopefully. So these are classed in the main as semi-terrestrials. So they don't need big chunky bark. They would survive in big chunky bark and still produce a good root system, but certainly in the growing season when they need feed and water on the heavy side, high feed levels and everything, you'd be watering them every day, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to do my version of the terrestrial mix. Now this is some leftover mix from before, from something else where I mixed up far too much, so that can come out of the bag. We can reuse that. That's a mix of my smaller bark with some pumice in it. I normally use perlite, but I'm happy with pumice. Whether we've got enough or not, I don't know. But we've got more in the bag here. Although we've got quite a lot of roots, it's still quite a large pot relative to filling it up with media. Right, so that'll do for the big stuff. And then we'll go back to my seedling bark, which when I got this bag I thought I'm never going to use all this up. Well, we're halfway down. We're not anywhere near needing some more yet, but when I got this it was quite damp and it took a long time to dry it out. What I do is I lean the bag against the radiator. There's not a lot of point in doing that now, the radiators aren't on, it's too flipping hot. But it took quite a long time to dry out, and my other supplier, Peter White, I believe is stopping trading at the end of this year. I believe. It's a rumour I've heard. I haven't heard it direct from him yet, and I'll believe it when I do hear it direct from him. And that'll be a shame, because he comes to our Wessex Orchid Society shows and he always brings what I need to the show, so I don't ever pay postage on anything. And when you've got quite a large bag of bark, you know, that postage can be quite excessive. I reckon that'll be okay. There's enough small bits in there. Right, I'll put some larger bits in the bottom, just off the side there, and then we'll see what we can do. I'm hoping this will tighten up in the pot and not need an elaborate staking mechanism. Now these long dangly roots would make a lot of sense to cut them off, but they've all got growing root tips. Yeah, they've got growing root tips. So although they'll be in the bottom of the pot, as you can see with Cymbidiums, they will curl round the pot and they'll be quite happy. Obviously want to get this so that the new growth has got room. Now again, I always pot dry. There's a lot of gaps with this root system, a lot of gaps, and I don't want to leave them full of air. So by using dry media, the media doesn't stick to the roots, it doesn't stick to the pot, it doesn't stick to anything. It gets right down in all those gaps, fills them up nice and tight, and that's what you want. Yeah, you don't want gaps, not with Cymbidiums. There are some orchids, Cattleya types, Phalaenopsis, they don't mind gaps. I used to think with my Cattleyas, not only didn't they mind the gaps, they headed for them. And I've seen Phalaenopsis do the same. Now again, because these are classed as semi-terrestrials, they will like a firm base. So I do press down the sides just to make sure my media is nice and firm. And it's not going to stand up, which is what I was expecting, so I just need it to stay still now. Now that means there's no point in trying to put stakes on the inside of the pot down the media, because the media is just not firm enough to hold the stake in place. So what we need to do is take the stakes to the outside of the pot. So I'll just break off while I get my gear. Right, now to stake this plant, I don't need to touch the new growth. I need to hold the big bulb in place. Now obviously up round here I'd be pinching the leaves. The place it needs holding is here, near the base, not right at the base but near the base. So to do that, what I'm going to do is tape a stake either side of the pot to the outside of the pot. Now normally when I do this I cut a nick out of the collar of the pot so that the stake's more upright. There's no need for that this time, quite honestly. So we will get some tape. This is duct tape, which is the most stickiest thing I've got. See, now I could go and get my glue gun out and actually use the glue gun, but that would make the stake a more permanent part, which I don't want. I only want it only needs to be there until the new root system becomes established, and at which point the plant will be bolt upright. Right, so we need to get that. I want one each side here without interfering with the new growth. So we will stick that there. Like that. That's one done. It's nice and firm. Yep. Now we'll do the other one. This one's far too long. I'm going to cut that one basically, so I'm mucking about with a stake that's just far too long. There we go. I shall trim this one in a minute as well. Right, and I'm out of duct tape. Oh no! That's not going to stick. I will have to go and see if I've got some more. I'll be back. Oh goody. It's buried at the bottom of the drawer. We've got about 3 rolls of sellotape and about 4 rolls of parcel tape. Now parcel tape would have done the job, but not as well. It's just not as sticky and nowhere near as strong as duct tape. So this is getting a bit low, but this is all I ever use it for, so it lasts an awful long time. I don't need to stick anything else this firmly, it's just these stakes when I do it, and that's not that often. So and the corner over so that you can find the end. Don't cuss and swear and make all your nails all caught up and everything trying to find the end next time round, because that's what happens. Right. So I don't want to move the pot at the moment because the plant is actually resting, so I'm going to have to do this blind. So we need that to go below the rim, which is there. Gotcha. Right. And then what I've got is some bonsai wire and my wire cutters. That's what I meant by getting the gear. It's just duct tape, the stakes and some wire. Now this is Most of the bonsai wire I use in the grow room is for mounts, and I use my very thin stuff. This is relatively firm, and if it's kinked it will stay in place. Yeah, so I've got a thicker gauge basically, but this has got a join on the end of it which we don't want, so I'll get rid of that. And then we want to come around the plant about here. Now I don't need to be that tight on the plant, I just need it to be in the right place. So we will take this round quite tight to the stake so that it doesn't slide up and down like that. And then what we will do is we will go round the plant. See, it's already keeled over. Hold it there. Take this round. Like so. And because it's nice stiff wire, I don't need to go tight to the plant, I just need to make a circle where I want the plant to stay. And it's movable. I can actually pull it a bit, push it a bit, I could actually adjust it. But at the moment I'm happy with it where it is. And then what we do is we take the other end around the stake a couple of times nice and tight, again so that it doesn't slide up and down. Now I could go around the plant again, but there's no point. You know, that's got it. The problem is it's probably still not going to stand upright. It is actually still slightly on a slope. Let's move the loop over a bit, make it more upright. That feels a bit better, and back a bit. As I said, I can adjust the plant by moving the wire because it's quite stiff. We'll get it where it stands up nicely. And cut the dangly end off so we don't poke our eye out. You learn that quite quickly when you're working with bonsai, especially when you're wiring branches, because you wrap your wire around the branch and there's always a bit sticking out the end, and then you go to do the next branch and lean in and poke your eye out with the bit of wire sticking out from the previous one. You learn very quickly to cut the ends off. So there we go. Don't forget, this old bulb's not going to get any bigger, it's not going to grow. Hopefully it's going to live and supply some nutrients and storage for this new growth. So that's it. It's still not that firm. Still not that firm, is it? Do you know what I am going to go round again. I'm going to put another piece of wire around, coming from the other side this time. So again we will go round the stake a few times nice and tight so that we don't slide up and down. Like so. And then this time I'm going to start round this side. And we'll come round this side, and hopefully that between the two of them they will hold it steady. It'll also double up the strength basically. So you know, there's two lots of wire holding it in place now, which means if I want to bend it and, you know, adjust it, I've got two pieces to actually hold it in place. Yeah, that's better straight away. Yeah, that'll do. Right, I've got some water down here. It's got a little bit of feed in it. Nothing in this place ever gets RO water anymore, ever. Nothing gets pure RO water. It's always got something in it. Now most of the time it's just a tiny little bit of feed. Only needs to take it up sort of a TDS 50, 60. It's just to stop that reverse osmosis, I suppose it's called, process with the roots. So if the roots have still got some nutrients in them from the last time you fed, and you put pure water around the outside, it'll have an adverse effect and pull the nutrients out, because nature likes to balance stuff. So it likes it to be the same on the inside of the root and the same on the outside. And the membrane on the outside of the root allows that transfer. The transfer is supposed to be to let everything into the roots, not suck it out. So go careful with pure water. Probably get away with it with rainwater, because rainwater is not pure. It's still got some stuff in it. But anyway, this is it's reasonably firm now. I'm pleased with that. And as I said, this has got a little bit of feed in it, and we will now drown the plant. Dry bark. I mean, I can see it's like a duck's back job. You know, the bigger parts of the bark on the surface of the pot. I'm pouring water over them, and the water's running off. It's not actually making it wet. Well, not to any extent anyway. It will do when I keep pouring. So I'm just shuffling around here because that's uncovered a couple of roots, which I'd rather were covered. So this is a nice, good watering. And this can go back on the bottom shelf of the staging where it was before. Nothing wrong with its position. We'll put the tags back in. No, we won't. We will go and do another one. Can you read that? No, nor can I. The only reason I don't need to read it is because it's the only tag I can't read, so I know what the plant is. Is that logical? But that tag's been around a long time. I'll just leave that plant in there for now. In fact, I will put the plant back where it goes and do the tag in a minute. So we'll tuck that back in its water tray. It's dripping all over the floor, but what the hell, a bit of extra humidity. And just hope that will stand up okay. Yes, it does. Jolly good. So that's that one done. That was a bit of an emergency, that one. And it's now done, so that's good. So that's my second repot of the day, and the sun still hasn't hit the roof, so it's still comfortable out here to carry on working. But now, the two that I've done were like here. I didn't need to check my notes. I will now go and have a look at my notes and see if there's a third one I can do. I know I've got to do tiger tail, but that is a big Cymbidium. It's a task and a half basically, because it's filled its pot. It's going to be rammed in there, and I don't want to spoil the pot. It is a, you know, those Cymbidium pots were quite expensive. And in addition to that, it's got to be divided. And as you could see, that knife didn't really do the job. We will get something a bit heavier duty for that, but I'm not doing that one today. That can wait. But I'll have a look around and see if there's anything else that's on the list that, you know, is coming to the top of the list that could do with doing. And if there is, I will do a third video for the day. If not, I've got two in hand now. I'm now going to do another video, which is an orchid update. That won't get posted today, but that might be tomorrow's video. I'm trying to get some in hand. I know I'm out, actually I'm not out this weekend, am I? I'm out Friday morning. I've got to have my chest x-ray, but apart from that, it's a normal weekend I'm in. Yay! The following weekend, Hannah's down, so that'll be a, you know, a thin on the ground with the video stuff, but we shall see what we get up to. And yeah, thanks for dropping by. Again, if you're not subscribed, it would be nice if you did so. It doesn't cost anything. And don't forget the old thumbs up. That not only doesn't cost anything, it takes a couple of seconds of your time. It's right there under your nose now. And thanks for watching again. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.